things with cancer. I just can't do the clients anymore because I lost a dear client that I adored, and I just didn't recover from it. So
No, yeah, because it's overwhelming. It's truly when they talk about, heartbreaking, your heart truly hurts. It breaks. And no, I totally get that. And we're not Superman. We're not Superwoman. We're vulnerable to the pain of others, and that makes us very human, and that's a good thing. So I applaud you for reaching out in this outreach capacity. Good for you.
Yeah. I mean, this is really all, I really do what I do. It's really hard to be a cancer coach. Like first of all, you're not a doctor. So people are like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And you're like, okay, I'm not trying to tell you anything about your diagnosis or anything. I'm just trying to be supportive for you while you go through this. And then there's the knowledge of going through it yourself and understanding. And then there's this desire to help. But then, you're so broke with cancer treatments. I mean, even I heard this lady speak. I was at a summit in Seattle last weekend, and I heard this lady speak who lost she was a multimillionaire. She had $54 million, and her lover got sick. She didn't ever say exactly what the illness was, but she was down. She's broke. She used every penny she had, and he still died. I was like, I just sat in that room, and I was just like, there's no response. Like, there's nothing you can say right now, and just the fact that she used all 54 million of her dollars to try to save her boy, what she calls him a lover, because that's kind of part of her shtick. But she has not a penny now. And I mean, what's messed up about that? So many things. And that's why I started the company, so that people would do. But people don't really see it that way. So I'm kind of going more towards the podcasting and speaking and be more motivational than one-on-one. Because I said, like, I lost that client. But enough about me. What was the hardest part about writing the book for you?
Oh my gosh, I think it's kind of what we were just talking about, that pain, revisiting that pain. And like you were talking about with being able to talk one-on-one, and now you have a forum. You have this vehicle that you can talk to many people, like this woman who had the $54 million. Now she can lecture, and you can do so much more. And I think that's why propelled me to keep writing the book, even though there's parts of it that I kept kind of bleeding in, no pun intended, but it kept bleeding into the book about my own personal pain, because it paralleled the stories I was kind of talking about. And
Sure.
I think ultimately it helps humanize, the author, me, but that was definitely the hardest part. The last chapter, which is sadly called The Last Chapter, appropriately so, dealt with the death of my son. And spoiler alert, but it dealt with the death of my son. And that chapter alone took like a year, because I just didn't want to write it. I didn't want to feel it. So that was the hardest part, kind of like what we're talking about in terms of that pain that you feel from other people. I felt that, and then also my own loss, of course.
Oh, I know. I mean, I don't know what you've gone through, but I have a little bit of a feeling, because we just buried what I would consider a nephew to me.
Aww.
We're not blood related, but he committed suicide. And it really, it took everything in me. And he was not blood related to me, but he was he was through friends and family that close. And I felt the pain of the family. My best friend is his aunt, and the feelings that I'm going through with her and her mom and her dad and the father of the son is just super intense, and really, boy, you don't wish that on anybody, and I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. But I commend you for gathering the strength to sit at your desk and write your feelings, so that somebody else can read that and learn from that and understand from your written word things that they can't do for themselves. You will help them. I know you will.
Thank you.
I absolutely know it. Okay, we got to stop being so sad. So, so are you going to write another book, or are you?
It's funny. If you had asked me that probably 6 months ago, I said no way in hell. Pardon my language, but
no worries.
Yeah, but because it was such a difficult, because the book is about lives lost, lives saved, and 80% of it is funny, like we're talking about. It's truly funny, dumb Darren dilemmas and so forth. And then there's it begins sad and ends sad. And I also take the reader into an actual shootout that I was in that luckily I survived, by the way. But
congratulations.
Well, thank you. But it was a horrific shootout. It was fatal for the bank robber who was shooting at me at the time. And I wanted to put the reader in my shoes so that you truly felt what it was like to have this happen in a shooting. And then at the end, each chapter ends with a twist. Now, some of the twists are more of a, FYI, don't do this, or some type of a little bit of a twist. But in this particular, called the shootout, the chapter is called the shootout, I take you on a twist that you don't see coming, because as an officer, I only see what I can see. I don't have that peripheral vision because I have such a fight or flight scenario right in front of me. It's shooting at me. So it's bizarre what you don't know, and so the twist of that one is over. It's overpowering, quite frankly.
I bet.
So when I say that 6 months ago, I would not have put myself through this again, but having written the book, and my publisher very excited about the success of the book, because they're all about money. And by the way, I should say that 100% of my proceeds go to Silent Witness or the Crime Stoppers program here, but the publisher take their cut, Amazon takes their cut, and so forth. So
did you know? I just learned this. Total side note. Did
Yes.
you know that and I'm sure you do know, that if you download your book, you only get paid per page that was actually read. So like if you have a friend that buys your book online, tell them to turn all the pages till the very end.
No, I did not know that. I thought for sure you were going to talk about the Amazon has a smile link, a special smile link, where they donate a portion of their funds to a set nonprofit, which I thought was amazing. But no,
that's fantastic.
Yeah, isn't it? But
yeah,
and if you go to twistedbuttrue.com, I have a link to that Amazon Smile link. So
I see it.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm on your website right now. That's what I do when I'm talking to people. I'll throw out like, right here on the website is, and I love your website. It's great. I love the cartoons. I love the it has the reviews. It's got a lot of pictures of you and what looks to be Laura Ingalls and
yes, it is.
some your radios and things like that. It's a great website. I think it's fantastic. No, I just learned that about the Amazon. So because my friend is an author and she published a book and she does book covers, and she said tell them to electronically just flip through the whole book, and then otherwise you only get paid up to the page that they flip to. I was like,
too funny. Did not know that.
No.
Yeah. Here, you think they're doing a solid for just opening the page, right?
Right. Or just downloading it. Thank you.
Yeah, right.
But okay, so you thinking now that maybe you are going to write another book?
I'm actually almost done.
Oh my gosh.
It was so much easier the second time around. Just for future authors out there, and everybody has a book in them. I mean, everybody truly has a story to tell. So, and I mean that. That's just not, fluff. I truly mean everybody. If I can write a book, anybody can write a book. If a dumb cop can write a book, trust me, anyone can write a book. And I tell you, the first book, painstaking efforts going over and over the first page and the first paragraph, because how important that first sentence is. And I went months and months, and it changed constantly because the flow of the book changes. So now I've learned with the second book, I didn't waste my time on that first page. I went right to the stories, and now that I'm like, probably 3/4 the way done, I have a good sense of what that first page will be now. So it's so much easier the second time around. But the first book was difficult, but the second book should be out, I would say, by Halloween, and it's a perfect Halloween gift. It really is.
Oh, right.
They're dark
we'll have to have you back on
funny.
Please. When it comes out. We'll talk about your book now. But unfortunately, we are just about out of time. Quickly, tell me about your radio hosting career.
Oh my gosh. I started again at the end of my police career. The last 5 years, I was the Crime Stopper Sergeant, so I had radio shows, which was great. But now in retirement, I have Badge Boys, and it's at Star Worldwide Networks. And it's called Badge Boys, and it's an hour of a lot of fun. For example, my Memorial Day show, we had a 100-year young World War II veteran from the Battle of the Bulge talking about D-Day, storming the beaches at Normandy. Then we go into some cops that have lost loved ones and some fallen officers, a fallen police chief. It's just truly a riveting show. I just love doing it on Star Worldwide Network. It's called Badge Boys. Okay.
Well, I will get my sons. I'll definitely turn them on to it because they're talking. They talk about, podcasts. Apparently, the youth. I was unaware of this. That's all they do. And they're like my older son. He has a job. He's a chemist. He works in a lab. And he said he just puts his earphones. He listens to podcasts all day long. I was like, that's all you listen to? He was like, pretty much. His last one was on Ted Bundy. So I'll have to tell him about yours. He'll really enjoy.
He will love it because we also do because of Twist But True stories. I have to do dumb Darren stories and twisted stories with suspects. So he'll love it.
Okay. Well, if you would like to listen to Darren and his shows or check out his book, the website is Twisted But True, just all together, no spaces, no caps, just twistedbuttrue.com. On Facebook, it's under author Darren Burch, Burch. And can I give out your email? Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
It is Cop Talk, COP-TAOK @outlook.com.
Yes. And be sure to tune into your shows. Go ahead and say both of them again.
The first one is locally here in Arizona. It's the old broadcast, KTAR.com. That's just a 15-minute fast show. The other one I'm really proud of is under Star Worldwide Networks, all one word.com, and it's called Badge Boys.
Perfect. And Darren, thank you so much for being on today. I really appreciate it. Look forward to having you back when you get your next book out. And I want to thank you for joining us today on the Mama Bear Cancer Support Radio podcast on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind, body, soul. For more information about Mama Bear or to hear all of the podcasts, please find them on my website at www.mamabearcancercoach.com. I'm your host, Mama Bear Donita.
Until next time, thank you for joining Mama Bear Donita.